Chunions Top 5. Today's topic is
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Chunions Top 5. Today we're doing a special for Halloween, of course. So for this special, I went on Facebook and I asked you guys, give me some examples, some stories of the top 5 worst Halloween treats that you guys have gotten. And so this is a compilation of those answers. I'm even going to be doing some honorable mentions because I got quite a few and couldn't fit, like, obviously, I got more than 5. So, and I wanted to mention everybody who had posted on there. So that's what we're going to do. Let's kick it off right away with number 5. So starting with number 5, I have Bethany Gonzorek, who posted an apple. But I'm also going to include just fruit in general, because that kind of sucks. It's Halloween. You're going out to get candy, and you get an apple. It just kind of seems like the opposite of candy, right? Fruit, candy, pretty much polar opposites. Nobody wants to go up to a door, knock, 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 trick or treat, and then they're like, here, have an apple, or here, have a banana, or an orange, which has happened to me too. I've gotten oranges before. But I mean, on top of the whole, being a crappy trick or treat, it just seems like way more expensive, does it not? I mean, if you were to buy an apple, okay, I don't really know how much apples are because I don't do much grocery shopping on my own, but I'm sure if you're expecting at least like 30 to 50 kids, so you're buying 30 to 50 apples, that's probably going to cost you a heck of a lot more than it would cost you just to buy a box of candy, of assorted candy or assorted chips or whatever you're doing. It just doesn't seem that feasible to give out apples. I know you're trying to promote health or whatever else, nutrition over garbage and blah, 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 but it's Halloween. It's the one day a year people expect to get candy, and a lot of people, it's the one day a year where they'll eat candy. So don't give them a freaking apple. Come on, you're spoiling all the fun. Moving on to number 4. In the number 4 position, it comes from Morgie Arlene, and it is pencils. That's right, pencils. She got pencils for her birthday. This is what she says on Facebook. I've gotten pencils a few times. As a kid, it was disappointing, but as an adult, I'd be more excited. So, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. As a kid, even if you're in school, you don't want pencils. That's what your parents are for. They buy you your supplies. You're not going trick-or-treating to get pencils. You're going trick-or-treating for candy. Who gives out pencils? Stop giving out pencils. Although I guess, if you had like a backup supply of pencils for when those adults came and you're like, oh, great, here's like some 22-year-old coming along who decides that they want to go trick-or-treating and they're too old, so they don't get candy. Here, have a pencil. Then they might be happy, but I still doubt it. If they're trick-or-treating, they want candy. The number 3 position comes from Kai William, and he says children's books. This is what he says on Facebook. The one place I went to trick-or-treat, they were giving away children's books. When you're a child, you want candy. Which I totally agree with. I mean, children's books are cool, and if children are going around trick-or-treating, I guess it's kind of a neat idea. But like I've said already, when you're trick-or-treating, you want candy, not books. It's cool, and I'm sure the parents would be like, oh, that's a sweet idea. Now I can read this to my kids and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's true, but the kids are going to be totally disappointed. So let's move on from there. Moving on to number 2. In the number 2 position, I have from Brianna Sinclair saying Kleenex. And she says, one place I went gave me 3 Kleenexes. Not a pack of them, just 3. I will never forget that house. That's right, people. When you give away crappy stuff at Halloween, like 3 sheets of Kleenexes, people are going to remember that, and they're definitely not going to come to your place next year. So if that was your intention, good job. You succeeded. If you wanted people to come to get Kleenex, you just really wanted to give Kleenex out to people, well, then you failed because they're totally not coming back next year for more Kleenex. Okay, guys, so when I was thinking, like, Kleenex, that's just stupid. Who gives, especially, okay, you're not giving away like a little package of Kleenex or even a box of Kleenex. You're giving away 3 Kleenexes. That's the worst. That's not even edible. That's not food. I mean, pencils isn't food or books aren't food, but still, that sucks. What can you do with the pencils you can at least use in class, or a book you can read, at least one time, if not more? But a Kleenex, you're going to use that once, maybe. Most likely, you're just going to crumple it up and throw it out because you wanted candy and you're peeved. And I almost put that as number one, but there was just this one that just trumped, I think, all of them. And before we get there, let's just hit up some honorable mentions. I know that's something. If you guys watch these top 10 lists, top 5 lists, top 15, top whatever the heck number lists, one of the more popular ones is WatchMojo.com. They're really cool. I'd suggest watching them. They usually put up like 3 videos a day, I think, which is pretty cool. But what Watch Mojo does is they do, before they get to their number one, they do honorable mentions. And I know there are some other channels that do the same thing. And I haven't been doing them, but I think for this one I will, just because I asked you guys specifically for your answers. And because I've gotten so many answers, I just wanted to kind of do honorable mentions so I can get you guys in there as well. So here are a few honorable mentions from Megan Days. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your last name right, because you recently got married and changed it. So anyway, she says stale candy, which I totally agree with. That stale candy sucks. Also, she put peanuts, unshelled peanuts. So first of all, if you're allergic to peanuts, that's definitely not a gift you're going to want. Second of all, peanuts are for elephants. Okay, not little kids. From Chester Dick, we have raisins. So I'm assuming he's talking about those little boxes of raisins. As a kid, that's definitely not something you want. You want candy. I also have from Jared Jansen, melted chocolate bars, which I don't know if they were melted when he got them, or maybe he got them and melted them in his big bag of candy, or maybe he was just really hanging on to it because he really liked them. But yeah, that definitely sucks, melted chocolate bars. Natasha Martins says Tootsie Rolls. And at first I was like, okay, Tootsie Rolls, it seems like a pretty common candy, actually. What's wrong with that? You know, maybe she just doesn't like them. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized and thought back to my childhood, and I was like, holy crap, you know what? She's right. There's so many people that give out Tootsie Rolls that they just get, like, not good. You just get so many that the taste of them is just like, holy crap, people, stop with the Tootsie Rolls. Stop. Should be a crime. But, yeah, so Tootsie Rolls suck. And, I guess lastly, for honorable mentions, I'll just say one of my own. I was trick-or-treating once, and I got a toothbrush, which I don't want a freaking toothbrush. I want candy. Okay, I want candy. I know you're probably thinking, like, oh, these people already got a big bag of candy, so afterwards they can go and brush their teeth with the toothbrush I gave them. Yeah, well, screw you. I don't want your toothbrush. Dentist. Pfft. All right, guys. So it is now time for the number one position, the number one worst Halloween treat. And I totally wholeheartedly agree with this because this sucks. And actually, this one is one of my best friends, Michael Mitchell, gave. He's the one who gave these to kids. Okay, this is what he did. He says, "Well, once upon a time, I gave out candy, juice, and a banana, nicely placed in a small brown paper bag and stapled." Okay, I'm going to stop right there. That sounds nice. That sounds pretty nice. You know, you got fruit, which was on our list already for crappy things, but you also gave candy, so it kind of balances out. Plus, you gave juice. Okay, you pretty much gave a meal in a brown paper bag. That's pretty awesome. Let's keep reading, shall we? He goes on to say, the only thing different about it was all the candy wrappers were empty. The juice box was also empty. And the only thing left of the banana was the peel. Oh! Then I added some rocks to weight it up a bit. I can't believe this. He gives all this candy. Like, people probably like, holy crap, man, this thing is weighty. Like, there's probably a lot of good stuff in here. They're super excited. They're on their way back home, or they're on their way over to the next house, or maybe they just waited until they got home and they opened this up. They're like, man, what's in this brown paper bag? This is so cool. It's heavy. It's got to be a lot of cool stuff. They open it up, and at first glance, they're like, oh, a juice box. Oh, some candy. And wait, is that just a banana peel? Wait a second. Are those rocks? And then they start digging through, and they realize, hey, juice box, there's not a stinking thing in it. Candy wrappers, where's the candy? And they get peeved off. So that's definitely number one. Garbage. Nobody wants garbage for their Halloween treats, Mike, or anybody listening to this that's planning on giving out garbage for Halloween. All right, guys, so thanks again for watching this top 5 list. Thank you again to all those people who commented on my Facebook saying, your stories, sharing your stories and your experiences of the worst candy that you've got when you were a child, or maybe it was just last year or whatever. So thank you guys for doing that. Thank you guys for listening. Please leave a like, hit that little thumbs up button down below, and leave a comment if you want to see anything for a top 5 list. Go ahead and leave that in the comments below, and I'll try and get to that and maybe make a video of that, of your desired topic for a top 5. And yeah, so thanks again for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Peace!